Good morning, everyone. Welcome along. Welcome to Steelhorse Station. Hope you are all well today. We are here in Melbourne. It's Friday, the 30th of June, end of financial year for Australians that may be amongst us, just to confuse the rest of the world. Other than that, nothing particularly significant about today. We are heading across to the Oaks, which we might do in just a second. Let's flick across there. I've got nothing particularly special to comment upon. First up, let's go to there. That's a not particularly interesting picture of the base of the silo. Now, I was just... Oops, what's going on here? You're on your way to the chicken coops. Talk about you later. You need to be... I was just filling up the lime. We have one line contract to run. As you can see, the weather is good. I think that's the only contract, unless we take a baling one on. We can send you across to the field though. What we will do, so the issue that we have, issue is probably a bit strong. We have a lot of sugar beet. So my idea of using these as storage was only minorly successful. So as you can see, I managed to fill, in fact, I've sent several loads. If we look at our production for a second, where are we? So the sugar factory has 568,000 litres in it. So it's steadily producing sugar, which was what we required. However, we've got heaps. So I rigged up a little bit of an arrangement. Why is that all moved? It wasn't sitting on there. Let's just... Very bizarre. You've got to go back in there anyway. I rigged up a little bit of a platform arrangement here. It looks to me like it's... Yeah. How is it suddenly... Oh, I know what's happened. The trailer underneath it has gotten shorter. The ramp. Which way does that go? That was okay, so it doesn't hold its setting in terms of elevation. That's what's happened. Right. Now that we know that, we can move the whole shooting match back. Just the sort of jerry-rigged operation you've come to expect. Kind of looks lined up there like so. Whoops. And the ramp is still going to be a problem. Okay, we'll send this guy off to empty anyway. And we'll worry about setting the ramp up when he gets back. But as I was sort of walking through, so we've got almost 600,000 there. And if we have a look at our field situation, we've harvested 61, 62, and 69, which is terrific. We've still got 76 to go. And so 12 acres, 9 acres. So basically 76 is the same size as 61 and 62, which is going to give us at least 500,000 litres. So we need, oh, and that's the other thing, the truck is also full. So I have a bit of a plan, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. The first part of that plan involves emptying out one side so that we can put it into effect. Other than that, I don't think we have any contracts kicking around. There's a corn contract, but we don't have a corn harvester, so I haven't worried myself about that. And there are baling contracts which we could take on if we wanted. So we can think about that. We've also got our own fields. So if we just jump across, because something's just arrived somewhere. You haven't. You're not. You're coming up on field 12. We might as well come along for the ride, I think. Now, in the store, livestock module, we don't need crane cart. Two things in the store that look interesting. Three things in the store that look interesting. We've been talking about another truck. That would be a useful pickup for us, I think, at 143,000. It's not super cheap, but it's not awful either. So there's three things that are of interest in the store. The first is the Agra truck. I think that's the highest priority. This tractor is probably just being heading into the large variety. It's a 340 and it's got the possibility to add another 100 horses to it. So that would be really helpful for upgrading the gear we've got over time as we're getting more fields. And I was kind of, even though we haven't planted any corn at the moment, intrigued with the Jaguar 960. So short answer there is that there is $500,000 worth of stuff that it would be kind of interesting to own. Not necessarily in the plan, but not beyond the realms of possibility either. If we have a look, we're coming into selling season, and we've got a couple of 100,000, almost 300,000 in grains stored up. We've got 70,000 in eggs, which are now producing at a pretty regular clip. So that basically the eggs are really comfortably covering the monthly operating costs. And then we've got a heap of straw, which is also another 100,000. So, and that's before we talk about sugar, which is not necessarily a selling month. Sugar, I think, bounces around a little bit in price. Where's sugar? Sugar, beet, eggs, milk. Cake sugar, there it is. Kind of the word. Oh, it actually doesn't fluctuate an enormous amount at all. But it doesn't really pick up now until the second quarter of next year, so the spring. So we'll be storing up our sugar, I think, for a little bit. Now, where's field 12? It's around here. It looks rather large. Let's get you situated. Put you there. Turn the course on. We don't want 6 headlands. Goodness me, that would be somewhat excessive. Generate that course, see what you look like. Don't complain about that. Start you off. And you are off and running. So the other thing that I've been doing, so you recall last time we were messing with the cows. I think I've got us situated pretty well down here. So put a couple of gates in, little coverall for the equipment. Put the bales in the bale store. Got a little bit of food, so did a tank of food. That worked out pretty well. Just did a little bit of landscaping. And I put some more mature cows in. So we've got 58 cows in total. So now they're producing a reasonable amount of milk. Oh, you can see I made a bit of a manure pit over the back there, which seems to have come up all right. Probably need to get that out of the cow pasture at some point. So we're all in good shape down here, so we can make some more cow food a bit later on. Now, that's not our... Let's have a look at our fields. Make a decision about what we want to do. Now, lime contract is proceeding. So we've got grass in 69. So given the time of the year and the planting calendar, we've got I'm going to say So 31 we've got a crop in. 31 we've got barley in. Or wheat. Yeah, barley. So we put barley in 31. We've got canola in 68. We grassed 69. I'm thinking we will grass 61 and 62 as a cover through the winter. Just because it sort of feels like it goes well with sugar beet, and that way we get a cut off it as we come into the new year, which allows us to fill up the silage. So I'm thinking that might be the go. Those fields will need ploughing, won't they? Yes, they will. 61 and 62 are going to need ploughing. So let us the big plough, or the little ploughs are down the other end. So we could quite easily get you situated on a plough. What's that plough hiding in the trees up ahead? That's probably the 6 time. Let's pop you down in there. Let's have a look here. That is the large one, isn't it? So we'll leave that up here because you're too big for this tractor anyway. And we'll run you back and grab one of the ploughs that's in the other yard. So if we put you at there, that will do us fine. Oops, you need some fuel on the way past, don't you, champ? And some maintenance. So let's take care of that. Fill up the tanks while we're here. G'day and welcome along. Somebody just popped in. Great to see you. Just filling up the tanks, getting the day underway. I'll drop in and just top off the maintenance as well. Right. Now let's try hitting the right buttons. And we can send you back. And let's jump and just scroll through. We don't need you on the pass-through list. We don't need you for another season. I think I mentioned last time that I sold the 2 TX32s off. Now, what we can do here, I have sold a load of eggs, but there will be more to deal with. I have discovered that the combination of these global pellets on this trade truck with universal auto load is not a happy camper, which is unfortunate because the pallets are working really well. Which way around do we want? We actually want you the other way. So what we'll do is not hook you on there. Let's move the truck forward. It doesn't really help much, does it? Still got to handle them a couple of times anyway, because I want them the other way round in the let's get them off the trailer first. As the first order of business, put you around that way, because then when we pop you in, you work a treat. But I am finding this is being able to put 3 of these onto the semi and take it to the sell point. Works really nicely. And the only downside of, in fact, I could probably put 4 if I put them across, I guess. It's just stuck in there. They'll load on now quite nicely. Beautiful. And we do need one more of these, I think. Seeing I managed to get one distracted. Oh, there's one down at the sugar, isn't there? Maybe we'll just buy a couple more. That might be the easiest way to go about things. Because they will be an easier way to transport the sugar as well. And more practical, I think, loading the sugar up in these than in individuals, particularly with not having an auto load solution that's operating necessarily the way we want. So what's happening in here? We've got some eggs there. It'll load in nicely. So if we go to the store, what I'll do is I'll buy 3 more. We want standard capacity. Let's make these ones blue. And buy one of those, yes. One of those, yes. One of those, yes. Okay. That works. So then we can send the truck up to the store to pick them up. I'll just park you here out of the way. Because what I'm finding is this trailer is a really good size and it's quite appropriate for the map, maneuverable. So it's a good logistic solution for us. That one can stay looking after the honey. And we'll go and grab the one that's still at the... I don't want you. Let's send you back to the sugar factory. Pick one up to bring here, and then we can take the 3 from that we've just bought down to the sugar factory. That'll work. So what's happening here? You've come back, which is fine. G'day, welcome along. Somebody just popped in. Don't know why on earth you've stopped there. Oh, because you're looking for a combine that's not existent. And let's put some more. Are you going to load out of them? Let's find out. If my jerry-rigged loading solution is going to operate today. Doesn't look like I'm in the right spot. Start the engine might help. Turn on the conveyor may also help. Is this one on? Start the engine for you also. What's happening here? Ah, that's what I didn't want to do. Too much to hope for. It's amazing how well it works when you... I set it up yesterday and it was working lovely. That's part of the problem. Why did you turn so far? Goodness me. Try there. I did have a go at belting. I was hoping I would be able to belt this on the edge of the ramp. And you might say, why are you messing around with doing it like this? Just set up a proper loading ramp arrangement. And the answer to the question is or the answer to the observation is I thought it would be quick and easy, relatively. And I also was hoping that it would work well because I do have a longer term solution organized, but I need to get one of these bays. There we go. Now we're working. One of these bays empty first. So I'm hoping there's only a couple more trailer loads here. So we'll leave you filling up. Yep, that's working fine. So we can get you going on a plow. Sounds like a good plan. And where are we? Plows over here. There's also a cut needed off this grass here today. Must have a look and see if the grass in field 69 also, 64 rather, needs cutting. We can grab the harvester out of here. Because we've got to get started on that beet field as well. Rightio. So let's put you on a course. You're in that field. Let's do 7 headlands, start in the center. Sharp corners. Perfect. And go and get the harvester out of your way. So I didn't want to start harvesting until we get our storage solution sorted out. We'll just leave you parked there for the minute. You look like you're now full. It was amazing. We'd had that ramp for months and hadn't used it. And then in the space of basically one episode, I used it twice, different applications at one at each farm. So if you missed the end of the last stream, we needed it to get into our massive feed mixer for the cows that Mark put us onto. So we've now got a good capacity to make feed. And how are we going for emptiness over here? That's pretty good. One more trailer will work. And then I can show you what I've been fiddling with. A rather simple solution, I thought, but it worked out pretty much as I hoped. Now, grass. We're just going to run over and check the grass growing state of this field over here. Yeah, so he's not going to be ready. We could take a cut off it now. And maybe we will. We won't get as much off it, but we won't at least... It gives us a little bit closer to filling up that silage bunker, I guess. Contract is proceeding. There are no other contracts other than baling on the board, are there? No, so the liming contract will finish shortly. We're not going to touch the corn. And it's just baling, so that's all right. Whereas you're heading to the sugar factory. You've stopped because I forgot to tell you to reset when you go and do that. You're ploughing away nicely. You're down here, which is good because we want to... Can I get you on there? I probably can. Let's jump up here. The other thing that I took off because I felt like it wasn't behaving quite as I wanted was the mod for the entering the vehicle that came out last week. I tried that for a few days and I decided that it wasn't the go. Now I wonder if I'm going to have the problem that I had before. There's something odd about the interaction between these pallets. No, that worked fine. I was finding they were sticking right on the tips of the forks and I couldn't figure out whether it was auto load or the trailer or some weird combination. So I've turned auto load off. Now we can send you back to the chicken coops because that's where we want you. You can be our fourth chicken coop pallet. I turned you off. Right. Good. You'll sort yourself out in a minute. You're on your way down there. Can't do anything with you until we cut some more grass. Right. We're gradually getting things lined up. In terms of our fields, what are they like for fertilizer? In particular, what is field 68 like? pH is good on both of them, which is what we'd expect. Nitrogen is rubbish on both of them, so we do need fertilizer. And I've got all the tractors down this end, don't I? I'll send you back and we can spray them. I think might be the go. Might as well get some fertilizer on for the end of the year, particularly while we've got time to think about it. So you can go back to the cow farm. That should do the trick. Where did you drop your pallet? Well, there's no point going to the chicken coop now, is there? You might as well jackknife and go up to the dealership. Let's have a look at the map. Where are you? You're here. So the pallet you dropped, there's a fair chance you dropped it somewhere around here without getting very far at all. Let's go here. All back in. That was my own mistake. Did you drop him out here? Is that him up the end of the road there in the road? That would make sense. He's turned right and the pallets just slid off the end. Looking promising. Yes, I spotted it. So we might just close our eyes and imagine that you're in the chicken farm. Somewhere like so. And then if we go to the chicken farm, which one? That one goes in there. Had to think for a minute. I'd forgotten that I didn't put one in. I was trying to figure out how we ended up with two when I only teleported one. Now, confusing myself. Now, we want to pick you up from that side. Oh, there's a grass field there that needs cutting also. Oh, trap for young players. If you use map object hider to tackle these fences here on my left on the map, it deletes all of them, not just the segment that you're looking at Right, so you're doing fine. That's the one at the end. And when I say all of them, I mean every fence that looks like that on the map. So, and it's a bit fiddly, well, minorly fiddly to put them back. But I managed. You might say, well, why were you messing with them anyway? Well, the reason was because that's the type of fencing that was around the cow shed. And I needed to take it off. Jason Rowe, good morning to you, sir. Welcome along. Hope you are well today. Thank you for popping by. It's a bit quiet here, but we're just mucking in and doing our chores. So as you can see, I've concluded that these are good solutions for the eggs. Might as well pop you in the front. There's no other good place for it. Get you out of the weather. It is Friday indeed. It's Friday. It's the 30th of June. Don't know if that's a good thing or not. I guess it's halfway to through the year. Less than 6 months to Christmas. Not that I'm in a rush. Christmas isn't my favourite time of year. Now what's happened to our... Oh, there he is. He's almost back. Now, you're not going to drive onto that the way I want. So let's see. Will you load there or do I have to move around? You'll see I've jerry-rigged a bit of a loading solution here. It's only temporary, which is why it's a jerry-rigged arrangement. Or do I think, yeah. Thought the depths was killing me there. Now we're in. So as you can see, I've had no difficulty filling up these, my temporary store with sugar beets. It didn't quite work as well as I wanted, mainly because I had too many. So I decided that a better solution was in order, given that we've still got field 76 to do, which will produce as many as 61 and 62 combined, so probably another 500,000 cubic meters of sugar beets, no, litres of sugar beets rather. So I have worked on a bit of a modification, which I need one of these bays empty to implement, which we're getting pretty close now by the looks. So that's okay. And that struck me as the sort of jerry-rigged arrangement that an enterprising farmer might come up with. That is emptying nicely out of there. Yeah. There we go. We're halfway through. I don't want to harvest anymore until I put this longer term solution in place. Why have we not got liming happening? Where is the lime truck? Oh, there he is. He's on his way. He came down here to pick this guy up. Exactly. We've got plenty of fert in there, which is good. So we'll run around my make-believe track here, which we'll sort out as soon as we can buy this field. Oh, we need to weed this as well by the looks. Yes. So we'll sort that out a little bit later on. Let's get some fert on it though. 2 headlands is plenty. Start on the center. Beautiful. And we're back in the yard. If it wasn't going to be our core business, I'd be quite happy with the jerry rig set up there, but because it's a core part of the operation, we need something a little bit more robust. And so you'll see in a minute what I have in mind with any luck. Let's have a look here. Send you down to empty, because the other part of the equation is the factory itself. Whoops. Let's click on the right button. And we're getting full in sugar beet cut. So it uses 72,000 litres a month, but that's 10 months of operation to get through its stockpile. So it will steadily come down, but we're going to have too much. But I figured we can think about that afterwards. Let's see how much we've got left in the bunker there, because the truck over here is full as well, which doesn't help. Okay, one more load will do the trick. So what I'm proposing, what I did was I got a little bit creative with one of the mods that, and just paired it back to meet my requirements. What am I looking for here? Buildings, silos. There it is. And I created my own storage pile. And so the idea is he will sit in there like that, but it's actually a silo with some capacity. So when he's positioned in there, he'll operate like a manure pit. So that's the idea, but we need to get the crap out of there first. So that's what we're doing. So I just constructed a slightly more efficient piece of automation that kind of looks the part. So we're just waiting for that truck to get back. We could grab the mower and send you up to the chickens. Hope you're having a good week, Jason. the world is working in your favor. Yeah, let's have a look here. Well, that's exactly right. Now that I've got the base sorted, you could, and I know a bit about what I'm doing, it would be quite easy to manipulate it to fit different sheds. That was kind of my thinking. I didn't know if I could make it work, but it turned out to be quite easy in the end. What are we doing here? We want you over here. Ah, excellent. Holidays are good. I like holidays. Are you going anywhere, or are you staying in place? Now, where are we trying to go? You're trying to go to the chook farm. Because when our man gets back, we can get on with starting the harvest on that field. I think that will be the plan. Yeah, so ultimately I think we'll have one of those piles in each of these sheds, but for the moment, because I reckon there's 5 or 6 trucks, so there's about 200,000 litres here, but if you can imagine, I had 2 piles sitting all the way out this far, and it was like, no, that wasn't the solution I was going for. It's too messy. Okay. So we got 120 grand. Ah, that's always challenging. So I'm thinking our order of march here is we'll get the truck first, because that'll be ideal. And then we'll get, if we can find the money and it's still available, we'll get the case. And as much as I'd like the Jaguar, I think he'll be out of our affordable price range. We will get some stuff to sell. Let's see, all our crops come up for sale in the next couple of months. So we've got plenty of produce. Now, send the mowers across. That truck is full, which we'll be able to empty as soon as we get the new grain solution in place, which means we'll be able to unload this. We can start and do a load here while we're waiting. We want to do that. Did I just fold that up? That was silly. Let's try that again. We'll need to do the headlands ourselves. We learnt that on the last attempt. Let's just open out a little bit of an entrance to the fields. Give us somewhere to work. Well, it's also a bit wet in a couple of those spots. Did I read during the week that Birdsville's cut off again? I'm not sure that I have that correct. Let's see. That'll probably do us. Let's run across the end here. I've changed my thoughts on now, having done a few fields with these harvesters in this sort of environment, rather than the conventional way where I would do a headland all the way around. It's actually, I think, better to do a couple of rows off so that you've got some maneuvering room, and then cut your headlands. So in effect, cut the headland by side out to where you want it. Because as soon as you try to go round, you get into a position where you're basically stuck. So it doesn't end up being any quicker anyway. And there's 27%. Ah, okay. I presume that the main reason it was in the news then was just because there's a couple of events on, and so there were lots of people involved. They probably didn't want any more folks than they already had getting stuck. It's just... So now, having carved out a bit, can get that back out of there. Right, let's get around here. And away we go. It's already feeling less confined. Yeah, we had a rudimentary plan to go to the Birdsville races back a few moons ago. There was a group of folks that I worked with that were, well, big talk, more so than we managed to do it. We didn't have a pilot amongst us, which is probably the main reason it didn't get off the ground. But the general gist of the plan was to hire a couple of small planes and hop our way up to Birdsville for the races, which is apparently a good weekend. And just hang on, the dog's decided he wants to talk to everybody in the neighbourhood from inside. I will go and let him out. I'll be back in just a second. Right, you are. Oop. Our man's back. That's probably pretty good timing. Let him get into the yard while we cut this corner out. Avoid the tree. Probably turn you off. Just create a little bit more screen real estate. I reckon we'll do one more of those. Make it easy. So let's whack you in the corner. Turn you around. Okay, so that's 2. Which just gives us some wiggle room up the top here. So I'll stop you for the moment. 70%. Wait till we can get an unload sorted. Yeah. We still need to do, we might just, I can't remember what the pickup range on this little fella is. Just bring you in a little bit further. It's about where we want you, which means you've got to go. Move our stuff around. How's that looking? Not too bad. Let's bring the trailer over and see if that's enough to load it. Looks like you might need some fuel before we start harvesting in earnest. Don't hit that. Sometimes it'd be nice just to have a button with which to turn off turning wheels on trailers. Because there are situations when they're useful, but there are many situations where they're not particularly helpful. Okay, that's looking like it's run out. What are you doing here? Turn off. You are on. So the other conveyor turned off, did it? It did. What am I in? I'm in the trailer. I want to be in you. I don't want to be in the trailer. The 710. Right. You are running. Why are you being a nuisance? Just right on the edge of that loading zone, but looks. So just that little pile in the corner to get out of the way, which hopefully we'll do on this load. Just going to be painful, isn't it? You're on the box. You should be just about far enough as long as I can get that trailer under that. Come on, swing low. Angles, angles, angles. Of course, just magically fall off there. Put you down there. Move you back from the edge. Right. That should work if we can now just get the trailer underneath. And of course, I'm bogged. Okay. This is just proving irritating for that last little bit. Come on. Feels like it's loading. Right. Hopefully that'll be enough to get that pile out of the back. And fiddling around can cease. Excellent. Yeah, just out of curiosity, will you pull through the wall there? If I turn you that way? Yes, you will. You might as well fill from that side for the moment. half a tank. And then we can get all this rubbish out of the way and set it up the way I want it to work. Oh, bang. Okay, that contract is going. Let's wait for it to load. Oh, sprayer finished the fertilizing. Well, we might as well jump up to him and you can come down while you're at it to field 68. Why have you stopped again? You've got no... Thought I had you set up correctly. I was obviously mistaken. Right, go and load, which is what I want you to do. Why can't you get off the field? You've done this successfully tens of times before. You've got fuel, you've maintained. You've magically got yourself in a loop where you can't find a path. Where is the road off this field? Just beside us. How odd. Odd indeed. Okay. You're doing a good job there. You are up here, ready to load these on. So we'll just borrow this guy. Okay. Of course, let's do it the hard way. Let's undo you. Let's turn you out. Straighten up. That's good enough. That's better. Can see what we're doing. Let's try not to knock the other one off. That's always a possibility. Hey, John Senior. Hey, an evening nap is perfectly acceptable. But nonetheless, we're glad you woke up and decided you needed something else to put you to sleep properly. It's all that hot weather tossing you about. Okay, let's whack you back on there. Jason is with us as well. Jason from Central Rural New South Wales. Let's just get out of there. This time I'll remember to strap them on. So these are our sugar transport solution. That's why I've decided the colour for British sugar is blue, having no idea what it actually is. So they can go down to British sugar. British sugar pellet load would be an excellent location for them. Oh, there you go. Completely no idea. So the other thing we're doing is we've got a bit of a jerry-rigged loading solution here, John. How rude. Tell them to call back when you've had your second cup of coffee. Let's get you out of there and send you hopefully off without too much ado. So what we can do now is get this sorted out. So just to bring you up to speed, John, the basic problem was that with only the beets off 61 and 62, both of these were full and out on the forecourt. I've still got 30,000 in the truck there. That is 2 conveyors. Yes, it's the... I mistakenly thought that this one had more reach on it and didn't realize that it was just for transport. Anyway, we made good use of the trailer and stuff. So what we'll now do is pull all of this out of here. So we've emptied one out. And I was just showing, yes, I could drive it, but this is a bit quicker this way. So I was showing Jason before, I got a little bit creative in, I think I've got it the right way round, but let's just make doubly sure. Interactive zone markers. So I've created myself a mod. Yeah, there we go. That magically seems to fit a pile. It's just so we can see somewhere around about there, like so. Looks pretty good. So now we have a pile with a capacity. 100,000's not right. How did I lose the zero somewhere in the translation? That was supposed to be 1,000,000, I calculated. How rude. Okay, we need to go and fix that because otherwise we're not going to be able to store very much there, which kind of defeats the purpose. So let's just do that while we're here. Well, I did a kind of a crude calculation on the size of these sheds and decided that 1,000,000 wasn't ridiculous. I think yeah, anyway, maybe I got myself tangled up. So we want to quit that guy, yes. Just excuse me for a moment while I jump across to there and where are we here? Yeah, a mill was what I intended, so I don't know what I've done. Let's go to test stuff. Beet pile. Right, let's give you something to look at. So, beet pile, we want the sugar beet heap. Capacity 1,000,000. That's bizarre. In fact, that capacity is 10,000,000. Which is not what I intended. So let's take a 0 off there. And now it's 1,000,000. Save that. Let's delete you. Send to there, which is now fs22 underscore beet pile. Right, so we'll copy you into there. Replace. So now when we go back into the game, all should be good. That was a bit bizarre. Wyatt thought it was 100,000. Unless I was out of sync with maybe my test one. I don't remember changing it like that. So who knows? It's very easy to get tangled up. It did occur to me while I was working my way through it that it'd be really handy to have a utility that allowed you to for productions and those sort of things. Looks like your new land save is broken. What makes you say that? Sorry, John, I don't know what triggered you to that conclusion. It was fine the other day, and I didn't look at it yesterday. Now let's have a look here. I wonder if it's lying to me. I wonder if it's just the checking tool that can't deal. Sorry, the tooltip that can't deal with it being 1,000,000 liters. That is always a possibility. Let's have a look here. Let's empty you out anyway. Ah, save 3 is not the Newlands one. Save 7 is Newlands. So yes, I make fairly extensive use of the save games. There's a possibility that once upon a time I had a test save or something there. I can't remember the last time I used. Let's just get you around. Can't remember the last time I used save 3. I tend not to try and have them necessarily consecutive, but thank you for pointing it out. What's happening here? There we go. Okay. So that's good. So let's go and empty the harvester. Open you out. So then we won't take long to find out if it's 100,000 or there's another problem. Since making the mod, I can safely say I haven't actually, in my test placement of it, I didn't fill it up because I never anticipated I would have an issue. Let's turn you on. Let's cut you across there. Then we'll go down and cut this side by the trees, I think. Although I did notice the lime vehicle had stopped. So we'll just get to the end here and go and sort him out. Excellent. Let's put you back in so that we can get down the side without getting caught. Let's go into the yard. Why? Oh, because I've put stuff in your way. That would do it every time. Hey, Jason. Other Jason. Other Jason. I don't know if you're with us, John, the other day when we learned that Hodge 1 in Canada is also a Jason. It gave us 3 Jasons in the stream at the same time. Little bit freaky. Now. Okay, let's move this stuff back out of the way so I can sort it out later. Get you over there. Can turn the triggers off. Ah. Oh, that's brave, driving through the night. I try to avoid doing that these days, especially on that road. Too much wildlife, too many truckies. Okay, so let's take you and see if we can organise a bit of delivering. That ladder's always going to be in the way there, wasn't it? That's better. Now, how do we want to set up a waypoint for this? Oops, Jackknife Central. I think what we want to do let's see here. Let's come off the main yard line around about there. G'day, Bruce. Good to see you. We're just setting up a little bit of a route here for our new beet storage solution. That pile is going to be in my way. I can see now without even checking. Let's see if this is going to work. Just carefully back you around the corner there. It's not looking too bad. We'll go back a couple on the trigger. That'll do us. Let's label you while I'm thinking of it. So this is going to be main yard beet unload. Okay. Which is good. Might as well unload you while we're here. That name rings a bell. I don't think it's the truckies necessarily that I was worried about. I mean, there's crazies everywhere. You don't have to pick on a particular community. It's more just narrow roads, heavy loads, uncertain conditions with wildlife at night, long distances. It's just a recipe for accidents, which happen with some frequency. No worries, Jason. Drive safe, mate. Cheers. So let's pull you out of there because I need you to have an exit. And that exit can then turn that off. Hook up with there. Right. Now, we want you to unload the combine, which will work just fine. So, combine is in field 76. Field 76 forage weight. You're going to beet unload. And that will be good. And then you stopped for some reason on your way to the sugar factory. That is, you've done this trip 10 times. Why all of a sudden did you stop there? Very weird. The M62, not been up. I don't believe I've driven in that part of the country. Let's turn you off. Oh, maybe I have. Leeds, yeah, I got up to Leeds once, although I wasn't driving. It was a business trip. We had a meeting in Leeds. Okay, this guy needs... Oh, I should have filled him up first. Never mind. You are at 68 North is correct. We want you pick up and deliver. And we want load, don't we? And we want you to load at the chook farm. The liquid for fill. Yeah, well, I think all of that's got a lot worse because of the effects of the electronic media. So people's ability to concentrate for longer than 40 seconds is limited. And that's before you even put the potential for there to be a device in the cabin. Now we don't want you because we want to do that and that. And then that, which looks like it'll do the trick. Start the job. You're going to fail in 5 minutes, but that's all right because you're all set up. Now, over here, you've managed to not be on the route I thought you were on. Around here. Oop. Maybe zoom in a little before I attempt to navigate the corner. Now, if we do that, you're waiting for me to set up the other guy. You're at the right spot. Let's go there. Went from waiting for a couple of things to now having everything, of course, running at once. I want to enter that vehicle because we need to fill you up. And if we put you on 76 forage weight, when we get to an appropriate level of fullness, oops, let's try and actually follow the edge. Would that get easier in the cab? Yes, it would. Try not to hit the trees. Too late. Needed to do a bit of pruning on this field. Oh. Probably need to come down that side. Well, it's not putting the auger out because I haven't got it on course play. What I've noticed with this implement is that as soon as I put it on course play, regardless of the course play settings, it puts the auger out. So that's part of the reason I'm driving it manually. And then I think a winter chore will be to come down here and take off these branches that overhang the field. There we go. That's looking a bit better. We might go very close to getting back to the truck. Which would be kind of handy. 67. Gee, it's going to be tight. This is our last field. We have 600 and over 600 and, oh, in fact, the sugar mill's probably full with the couple of extra loads that I put down there. We'll have I can check that in just a sec. I just want to get to the top of the hill here. Looks like we are going to make it, which is nice. Yeah, these 4 fields have generated an absolute ton of sugar beet. I'm glad I planted them all in sugar beet because that worked out really well for us. Let's just pick you up. And then if I turn and put the auger out, that should call him, I'm hoping. It does. Works beautifully. And we'll stop there so he can figure it out. Come on, recalculate. So while he's figuring that out, let's jump over. Yeah, so we're at 677 in the factory, notwithstanding we've already processed a couple of months. We've processed about 72,000 litres a month. So we've probably processed 2 months worth. So that's 140,000, which we've turned into sugar because I've already done a trailer load of sugar and we've got another 67,000 litres there. So we've got a year's worth of, really, that's the best you can do. I'm in an awkward spot for you there, aren't I, champ? Let's try coming to there, see if that helps you at all. Oh, it's congestion in the yard. He decided he couldn't resolve with the space that he had, and so actually, yeah, there is enough. So let's change you to there. Let's see where you actually go. The other truck will get in your way, but it might be tight enough that he stops. Let's just see. Why are you reverse? Oh, you're on a reversing course. Never mind. You figure it out. Oh, I haven't adjusted that course since we put the shed in. Okay, that's the problem. That's part of the problem. So this course was beautiful until I built a shed right in the middle of it. Okay. And over there. And now that you're first, let's stop you. Just too tight. We get a couple more headlands. That'll be under control, I think. Why do I feel like my lime's not working again? Had a couple of issues with auto drive today, which are unusual. I can probably now put you on. Do I reckon I can put you on course play? Possibly. Let's do that. Let's do 7 headlands on here. Starting on the headlands. Let's do round corners. And then pull you in. Get you back over there. Because 3/4 of the field, you need to be on the second headland. See, it pops straight out as soon as I start it, despite the fact that it's only got 30% in it. Interesting, he's going to unload there anyway, but that's fine. But that's good to know, actually. Now we'll just sit with him. Hopefully he will navigate this corner all right. Yeah, so not quite there. So I'll have some tidy up to do in the corners, but it's all right. You have forgotten everything that you were doing. Last waypoint. Maybe auto drive just crashed or something. That could be it. That's what's upset everything. Yeah, because this guy stopped for no apparent reason as well. Oh, we got out. That's why we left the game, didn't we? When we, I did it. It wasn't the no apparent reason. We restarted the game. Goodness me. Sound asleep. So, what? Where are you? What are you doing? You are going to there. You are turning that off for now. Now, if we have a look here, showing we've got 60,000 of sugar beet now, which is in our little thingamy. Which is fine. Now, if we pop you back on your course, can you get out there and unload successfully? You can get out, so that's a start. Then what happens when you get in the yard? Yeah, there's a turning circle near the gate. That's correct. So you find the right course here, hopefully. If we ignore the fact that I've got a pile that I need to shift that potentially will get in your way when you're back in. No worries, John. Have a good evening. Thanks for dropping in. I'm moderately confident we'll get this in, and the next load will tell us whether I've fixed the capacity issue. But that looks much better, that pile, so I'm happy with that. That's looking promising. Come on, drop him around the corner. What are you detecting? I'm probably detecting that. Never mind. It's pretty close. When I move that pile, we might have a chance. Unload you out of there. Righto. Good stuff. So I'm thinking, folks, that this might be where I leave it for now. We can send you back to the waypoint. And we can put you... Don't turn that way. Gee. There is a harvester that should be pretty full. Don't know why you're driving across the crop, but what can we say? But that's where we might leave it, folks. Thank you, everyone, very much for watching. Great to see you. Have a great weekend. Back for our normal schedule next week. Cheers.